All right, welcome to session 2 of the Andy Taught Me How Build a Website Scratch. Actually, it's the 5-page website builder workshop. If you have been here before, then you're old hat, you're a veteran. If you're new to this, then you're a rookie. It doesn't matter. Everything's the same. We're all learning the same stuff. Um, I'm going to run through some parameters, caveats, whatever you call these things, policies, procedures, whatever. Real quick, just to let you know what's up. I am using this recording for marketing, so you'll see this same recording with your likeness on YouTube. If you don't want to be on YouTube, then please just leave the recording. No big deal. You can always watch the recording later. So that's that. The methods taught in this training are the same thing that you're going to hear from just about everybody else, and they may be a little bit different. I'm going to tell you what I think is the best way to achieve a certain goal, and other people may tell you that's not the best way. That's okay. Everybody can have their opinion. Mine's right, theirs is wrong. I'm joking. All right. Results are not guaranteed. Your results will vary based on your effort, experience, market, tools, implementation. By continuing this session, you acknowledge and accept these terms. It's the same thing that you've heard everywhere else. But let me tell you one thing that we have found. Those of us that have done affiliate marketing or internet marketing, whether you're doing an affiliate product or your own product or whatever it is, we found that certain things are true about the public and about how the public perceives what we've done. And we may think that we've done something perfectly when in actuality somebody may not like the color purple or the color blue or whatever. And they are just immediately turned off by your website no matter what you've done, and they just click away. That's okay. All right. So we're going to review. You started planning last week. You started planning your website, not their website. I've got a subject verb agreement misalignment there. Anyway, you thought about the purpose of the site. You looked at the website name and domain. We did all this last week. By the way, gold star to Chip because he reaffirmed using the website name check when looking for your website and all the other things. What was the other one you said, Chip? Namely, Checkly, name Checkly, whatever it was. Anyway, you are also encouraged to think before building. Last time we worked on getting clear. Today we turn that clarity into structure. And we're still going to do more behind the scenes stuff today instead of hands on. We're getting there. I promise. Next week will be the big hands on stuff. Today we're not decorating a house. We're framing the rooms. Every page needs a job. If you do not know what a page is supposed to do, your visitor probably will not know either. A lot of people start building pages because they think every website has to have certain pages, but they never stop to ask what each page will accomplish today. I'm sorry, will accomplish. Today we are going to fix that. So I want you to remember, let's see if I've got it in this. Nope, we'll come back to that. If you guys will remember, why don't I just go find it? Hold on real quick. The most important question that you can ask yourself about your website. Okay? I help blank so they can blank without blank. So you've heard it. You've actually read it. Some of you have actually started putting that into practice. But that is not just about your website. That's about whatever business you're going to do. That's how you can determine what your niche is, etc. All right. So let's get back to today. All right. Back to today. So this worksheet is your map for the next few sessions. And that is the ATMH03 worksheet that you can download. If you haven't seen it in your emails or you're new to this session and you haven't downloaded this worksheet yet, you can go to andydelgado.com/ATMH03. All one word. And that's short for Andy Taught Me How 03. And then you can download it. I will send it to your email just as soon as you click go or whatever I said to go, and you can get the worksheet in your little grubby hands. This worksheet covers home, about, training, tutorials, or services. These are the different pages. Resources, contact, navigation, main CTA. And depending on your specific website that you're building, either for you, whether it's a personal brand site or, thank you, Chip, either whether it's a personal brand site or you're building a website for your brick and mortar business or your digital business or whatever it is, you're going to have 5 pages about the same. They may change. You're going to have a home, you're going to have an about, and then you're going to have your products, services, shop, training tutorials or whatever, and you're going to have a resources page maybe, but then you're going to have a contact page, and we're also going to for sure have policies, procedures, terms of use page. And then you will also have a navigation area and your main call to action. This worksheet that you're looking at, the ATMH03, teaches that the recommended 5 pages are home, about, training, tutorial, service, products, and then resources and contact. I'm changing that. We're not going to worry about resources right now. We are going to worry about the policies, procedures, terms of use. This worksheet becomes the map for the website we're about to build. We're not trying to write every word today. We're not trying to design every section today. We're simply deciding what each page is and what the next step should be. So, a 5 page website. Let's talk about it for just a minute. This first website is there's a reason for keeping it simple, and I'll show you as we go through. This 5 page website is enough to explain who you are. It shows who you help. It builds trust. You offer training, services, resources, or products. You give people a way to contact you, and you point visitors to the next step. Remember, we talked about this before, that people have to know what you want them to do. Kind of like when you were teaching your kid to eat, or you were teaching your kid, well, let's just go with the kid in the high chair, and you're teaching them what to eat, and they want to just do all this with the food all over the place, and you're teaching them, no, grab a spoon or put it in your mouth, not on your head, not in your ear, not up your nose, in your mouth, right? So you want to do effectively, you want to do the same thing with the people who visit your website. This is what I want you to do. Everything is going to steer them to the call to action, whatever it may be, whether it's to buy a product, whether it's to click a link, whether it's to watch this video, whatever it may be. That's what we want to do, is we want to guide our people there. And there's a whole bunch of psychology behind it, and we probably won't get into that too much. Well, we can. Avoid red. Very easy. No red buttons. You can do blue or green. They're usually good. Maybe black or white, but avoid red with all costs, because people usually associate red with fear or emergency, that kind of thing. So let's just skip that one. All right. A simple website is not a weak website. A clear website is a strong website. That's a good one to remember. We're starting with 5 pages because that gives us enough structure to build something useful without making the project feel too big. The home page is the front door. Now, you may say, but I don't use the front door at my house. That's okay. The home page is the main door you enter, right? Whether it's the front door, the garage door, maybe you park in back and you go in the back, or the mudroom, or whatever it is, this is the main door. Now, normally the front page is the front door is the most decorative door of your house, because everybody wants it to look good. It wants to be warm and inviting. So its job, the front page, the home page, the front door, its job is to quickly tell visitors, bios, where they are, who this is for, what they can get here, why it matters, and what to do next. The worksheet says the home page should quickly explain what the website is about and what the visitors should do next. So here's some key phrases for you. The home page is not your life story, it's the front door. You don't know if people want to know your life story yet. Let's get them in the door, in the house first. The homepage should help visitors know, am I in the right place? Do I make people hunt for the next step? Or I'm sorry, do not make people hunt for the next step. So, suggested sections for your homepage. A hero section, we've talked about those before. Who this is for, what visitors will learn or receive, why this matters, the proof of trust builder, and the final call to action. So when someone lands on your homepage, they should not have to study it like a puzzle. They should quickly know, very quickly, what the site is about and what they should do next. All right, let's talk about the about page. This is your trust builder. Its job is to list the facts, titles, or credentials. It should help people or visitors feel comfortable with you. And then some key phrases about this is your page is not just about you, it's about why the visitor can trust you. A good resume gives facts, a good about page builds connection. So your about page should answer questions like who are you? Why do you care? What experience do you bring? And why should the visitor feel comfortable learning from you or working for you, with you? So here's a good statement I learned a long time ago. I was at a seminar and I'd never heard this before, and probably now everybody has. So if you have, just humor me and say, okay, that's good. So imagine that you've got this little radio station playing in your noggin, and the call letters of the radio station are WIFM, and that's what's in it for me, right? So that's what everybody has in their head going on. What's in it for me when I'm looking at a web page, when I'm walking through the aisles of a store looking at a product or whatever it may be? What's in it for me? How's it going to benefit me? And that's the same thing that we want to teach people on our websites, especially in the about page. All right. So then page three, trainings, tutorials, products, services. It can be a whole bunch of different things. Um, if you want to be more professional looking, more business oriented, then you would say training, tutorials, products, or services. You could do other things that lend warmness or evokes warmness, maybe like work with me, start, uh, learn, let's learn together, that kind of thing. This page gives people a path, and don't just list everything, help the visitor know where to start. People need the first step, then the next step. So, for example, for a training site, this may list sessions or course topics. Are these pages actual pages like a menu item or sections when you scroll down? So that depends on the type of site that you want to build, Andrew. In my case, or in this case, these are all going to be individual pages. I know you've seen some of those websites that have a monster long first page. And the reason or the theory behind that at the time is because the search engines would scrape that page. Well, now with the ability to kind of coach search engines what you want to scrape or bots to look at or whatever, then you can actually put it on any page you want, and it's still going to get effect or have an effect on the search engines. Where was I at? Okay, so we're not going to list everything. We're going to help the visitor know where to start. People need the first step, then the next step, and then the examples. For a training site, this page may list lessons or course topics. For a service business, this may explain services and packages. For a personal brand, this may point people to the best starting place. Then the fourth page, the policies page. Now, a lot of times, just because this goes right in line with the navigation menu, people don't put the policies page on the nav. They usually put it in the footer. I know that's where all mine are, and most sites you see are going to have that same thing. Okay, the policies page should help build trust and give the visitor access to important legal and informational pages. This page is not usually the most exciting page on the website, but it is important. It helps visitors understand how your website handles information, terms, disclaimers, and other important details. And then why this page matters. A policy page can help build trust, show professionalism, explain how visitor information is handled, like cookies, provide important disclaimers, link to legal or informational pages, support footer links used across the website. Most people don't get excited about building pages, policies page, but it matters. All right, let's keep going. All right, the contact page. And I've talked about this before, and I'll hit it again real quick right now. If you build a contact page with a form, that means that your email address is pretty much protected. Okay. If you are not using a form, if you're putting an email out there, like I actually tell y'all, you can contact me, Andy at andydelgado.com, right? That means anybody that's watching this video could start spamming me. Don't do that. But if you do that on your website, if you list an email address on your website, then people can, or bots or whatever, can go out and scrape your email address and then they can spam you or whatever you want to call it. Right? So the easiest thing to do, the smartest thing to do is to actually put a form on your page and then you can ask, first name, last name, email address. You can get the phone number if you want. That's probably not ever going to get filled out. A subject line and then the body of a message, and then they can click send at the bottom. And you can get a notification. You can send that to any number of addresses with BizStackPro and Go High Level. You can send that to any number of addresses when the notification happens. So then you know that you're getting notified. All right. The contact page should remove friction, not add it. Ask for what you need, not everything you might ever want. And that's especially important on forums. You don't want to ask their blood type and underwear size. You can collect that later if you want to. Good contact options are contact form, email address, phone number if appropriate, a calendar link if you are doing a link, social links, service area if local. A lot of contact pages because they fail because either they ask for too much or do not tell the visitor what to expect. Keep it simple and make it easy. All right, the navigation menu, and you can have more than one. Typically, you're going to have one at the top because it's the easiest way to tell people where to go to get to where they want to be. Recommended menu items on a nav pay or nav menu would be a home, about, and then whatever you call that next page, which is training, tutorials, services, products, whatever, shop, store. If you have a resources page, you can link to it. A contact, um, a contact button or that goes to the contact page, and an optional CTA. So if you have, for example, if you have a lead magnet, and that would maybe in your hero, you could reinforce that by having a small button in your nav up at the top right that would be the call to action button also. All right. Navigation is not the place to be clever, it's the place to be clear. If everything is important, nothing feels important. Your menu should help people move, not make them think too hard. So your navigation menu should be predictable. People should know where to click without having to decode your wording. A lot of times we think, oh, well, that's cute, or oh, I'm being witty, but you're not evoking to them exactly where they need to go by clicking on whatever. All right. So your main call to action, CTA means call to action, just to reaffirm. Your main website or your website should have one main next step, and that's your call to action. For Andy taught me how, that CTA is going to be download the website builder toolkit. Now remember, I haven't built this page yet. We haven't built this site. We're going to build it together. So I'm telling you now, that's going to be our main CTA. And then I'll recreate the toolkit page that's currently on andydelgado.com. I'll actually will recreate it into Andy Taught Me How, and it will be, of course, a lead magnet page that we do whatever with. All right. So for your site, it could be download the guide, watch the first lesson, schedule a call, contact me, view the resources, join the list, get my newsletter, whatever it might be. Every website needs a main next step. A confused visitor usually does nothing. Your call to action is how you guide the visitor forward. All right. The main CTA is not just a button, it is the action that you are building the site around. Common mistakes to avoid. Mistake one, trying to design too soon. So design matters, but structure comes first. So an easier way to remember this is if we design it first, then we don't have to go back and delete and undo and fix our mistakes. Adding too many pages. Mistake number two, your website can grow later. Start with what is necessary. That's why we talked about a simple 5-page site. Common mistakes to avoid. Mistake number three, making every page do everything. Now, we talked about that one long page. Andrew asked, what about one long page that does everything? You can do that, and that was important at the time for whatever crawlers that we're looking at, but it's not necessary now. It's actually easier, I think, to compartmentalize. For example, if you had a file cabinet and you had receipts in one and bills to pay in another drawers, then it's easier to go to the drawer for the bills to pay than it is to keep searching through one drawer for all the stuff. And then using unclear page names, that's a tough mistake there. Clear beats clever. Just like I said, we like to be witty. We like to show that we're a smarty, whatever. But that doesn't always get the right point across. And some people think, I don't want to deal with him because he's a smartass. Sorry for my French. Where's Jesse when you need him? He's French. All right. Forgetting the CTA. If you don't tell people the next step, they may leave without taking a step. Okay, so here is your assignment. This is a quick one. Your last assignment was that question, right? I help blank so they can blank without blank. We'll review that in just a sec when I show your faces to me. But your assignment for next week, here it is. It's not hard. Complete the worksheet. Decide the name of your page 3. if it's going to be training, tutorials, services, work with me, or another clear name. For those of us that do multi things, you got to click one. You got to come up with one clear thing, and then you can do more later through additional pages, get to know me, emails, that kind of thing. But we need to have just one page right now that does that. So if you're an author, if you have coloring books, you could say my coloring books or my books or my course or this course or courses, whatever you want to do there. And then your step number 3 in your homework is to confirm the main CTA for your website. Now, if you're here just today, then you probably didn't know that we already discovered it or talked about a lead magnet page and everything like that in our last sessions, our last workshop. We will go over that again, probably towards the end of this, because we're going to get these pages built first, and then we'll talk about that lead system. Oh, I just missed something. Willie Bradley, admit, I got him. All right, so that is your homework, and then next week we start building. I talked about it. I told you it's going to be really hands-on next week. You're going to be looking over my shoulder, well, just like you're doing now, when we start on a brand new BizStackPro Go High Level site. By the way, since we're on YouTube, people may be asking, what is BizStackPro versus Go High Level? BizStackPro was built on Go High Level, but it's got all kind of super incredible bonuses, enhancements, all the things. Oh, I'm sorry, Shelly. That's all right. I caught it. And maybe we might have to do some testing. All right. Anyway, BizStack Pro has its, I call it, well, I'm probably gonna get in trouble. I'm glad Shelly's not here. Is she here? I'm sorry, she's not here. I say BizStack Pro is like Go High Level on steroids, to be honest, because there's so many great bonuses that have been given to us and additional tools. We've got 24/7 chat help available to us. We've got 8 sessions every week, plus additional like this one that you can take advantage of. So if you are interested in finding out more about BizStack Pro, look at the description, or if you know somebody on this panel already that you're going to see in a few minutes, talk to them. All right, so um, the next session we're going to talk about our homepage. We start building the front door of the website. The homepage will take the plan and turning it into something visitors can understand quickly. So in the next session, we're going to start building the homepage. That's where your message starts to become visible. And then I'm going to teach you, like some of us already know, build your homepage, make it perfect. Get the nav right, get the footer right, to get all the stuff right. And then we're going to clone it and adjust it. So that's that. Um, Remember this. Simple and clear beats complicated and unfinished. You can improve this later. Build it simple, build it clear, build it one step at a time. So today, if you walk away with a clear 5-page map, that's a win. You don't need to have every word written. You don't need to have every section designed. You just need to know what pages you are building and what each page is supposed to do. That's how we avoid confusion. That's how we build with purpose. And we're going to build it simple, build it clear, and build it one step at a time. Let me see your faces. All right. Welcome to the world. So I flew through that. I probably should have gone, hey, Willie, I should have gone a little bit slower, maybe, but I wanted to take advantage of this time to find out, did you do your homework? Some of us talked about what our statement was. I help blank so they can blank without blank. So if you did your homework, or if you already know that because you're a stud, go ahead and let's share. Somebody raise your hand and go first. Steve Shannon, trying to be the teacher's pet. Shelly Jean beat you to it today, bud. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sure. Boop, 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 boop. See here. All right. If I did this right. So the adults ages 40 to 70 who are feeling the effects of aging and want to understand their options for improving quality of life.
All right, you said I help blank. You help adults ages to 40 who are feeling the effects of aging and want to better understand. Okay, so they can understand their options for improving the quality of life without what?
Huh?
Without what?
Without what? Okay. I'm lost.
Well, so the question is,
Go ahead.
I help blank so they can blank without blank.
Okay. Without. All right. I'm
Here-
gonna have to work on that.
Here's what I would do
Okay.
if you want to cheat like you're doing. I'm playing with you. You can ask Chat GPT. Say I help, and you do an underscore or two, and so they can underscore or two without underscore two, and say, please adapt that for this whatever. Please
Okay.
adapt the previous response so it fits this question.
Okay.
Does that make sense? All right. Who
Makes
wants to?
sense. We'll work on it.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Okay. Chip says, I help high school theater teachers and directors working in a school setting so they can work more efficient. There you go. That's a good one. Willie Bradley, go ahead.
Um, mine, you already see mine, but can't find it now.
That's okay.
But
I'm just telling you where
oh,
we are now.
right here,
Yes, sir.
learn the skills, build the confidence, work from home.
There you go.
That's it. Oh, now I can't get that little part down there off.
Okay, Miss Shelley Jean.
All right, mine is this is one of them is I help breast implant explant survivors so they can bust the toxins without going all over the internet. We are a one-stop shop.
There you go.
And then I also have my landing page, although I don't have the funnel system put together, but today I did do a website. Is it okay if I show you real quick?
Sure.
It's funny. Like it seriously is funny. So let's see. So I put in my affiliate link and I asked the AI Studio to recreate for me it in my branding with my pictures. And where did I go? There we go. So this is what it came up with. Um, where can I just preview this again? I forget. Here we go.
So straight up at the top of the page that you're looking at,
Yep.
then to the right, where that arrow pointing out, the
Oh,
arrow
here we go.
of the box. No, well, that's fine too, but yeah,
Oh, sorry, I went too fast. Usually
that's
I like to pay attention.
we're gonna call you Steve.
Yeah, don't do that. Okay, so this definitely has to be one word, but here's what I like too is that my scroll, you can actually hover over it and it will stop.
Yep.
So, stay-at-home moms, seniors, survivors, dreamers, creators, rebels, rebuilders, and people stubborn enough to try again. I thought it was just a cute little added thing, but it definitely gives the very first clue on affiliate marketers, stay-at-home moms, which I thought was great. Um, right here, it gives the launch your empire. Oh, man, the prompts I had to use to go back and forth was a lot of fun. But this definitely tells you right off the get-go, are you still taping 14 different tools together like a digital hoarder? Stop paying for broken integrations and start using a system that actually works. I'm gonna change BizStackPro though to something else. I think I'm not sure yet. I'll click on those in just a minute. And then we're judging your bad habits. Of course, it's gonna stick with my sarcasms on um my
Hey,
branding.
hey, wait. Instead
Yep.
instead of the Frankenstein stack, call it the Frankenstack.
Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. Hold on. Let me write that down. Okay, and then the wallet bleed, the sales pace, and then welcome to the adult table. Talks about these kind of things. Consolidate my mess. That's another button we'll show you in a minute. The lies told us. Stop paying the stupid tax. Overpaying for the tools. Here's this. I'll show that to you in a second too. 30 days, love it or get a refund and leave us. No excuses. But this is what was funny. So it suggested a team, right? And I was like, Okay, well, let's see what it does. So I put it down in the, well, first of all, it gives um the BizTech Pro 2026. We judge because we care, but this is freaking funny. I don't have the terms of the privacy in there yet. Stop reading the footer because you're supposed to be reading this. I thought it was great. But here's the team. Oops, I should have fixed it. Meet the professionals. We fired these people so you don't have to deal with them. This is the exact energy we are protecting you from when you use BizStack Pro. You got Chad the bottleneck Sterling, who's always scheduling a Zoom call to discuss an email that could have been a text. Brenda from accounting, chief expense denier. She hasn't slept since 2018. She runs exclusively on black coffee and the sheer thrill of rejecting your $12 software reimbursement request. And then Gary Reply All Henderson, who has a 50 message email chain about the breakdown fridge. He still uses Internet Explorer and thinks of CRM as a type of sandwich.
That's
So I,
funny.
so I thought those were kind of fun. Then it's escape to better tools, and then it brings you to your to the email. So stop paying the stupid tax. You're probably paying $500 or more. Somehow, again, with heavy sarcasm, no upsell here. Here's when we say no upsell. There are so many unbelievable ways to scale a business, a hobby, a side gig. You get the picture, and then it has the 97 a month, and then it has leave us for 30 days, love it, stay, hate it, get a refund and leave us, cancel anytime, no duct tape required. Show me the goods. Gives a little fun little thing there. Then it goes over here for the thank you page. Check your spam, make us VIP, return to the madness, and then it brings me back to the home page. So that's what I got going on. And then I realized what I do need to do is I have to add obviously the payment section, and then I still have to go back to the first session on how to do um, the funnel system, but I'm going to try to use the funnel system that now is integrated into that and see what it comes up with for me. So those are the two VIP pieces that need to go into this. But I had fun doing it this morning and last night and yesterday putting that together. I was like, as sarcastic as true. It's not your normal, and that's what I am over normal stuff. So for me, it was fun. Would it work for other people? I don't know. But if it does, it's going to work for the ones that are looking for me. So that's how I feel about it right now.
That's funny. So one bug that I saw that it's not your fault. I'm 100% sure because you did AI to do it. Upsell when we're talking about what we do is
Oh, yeah.
UPSELL, not sale, SALE.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll go back and check that.
I don't know how you're going to fix just that one word without incurring 14 tokens charged, though.
Well, right now it's free, so I'm good.
But that was all cute. That was great. I like that.
Awesome. Thank you. I
You can edit
appreciate
it.
your feedback on that.
You can edit it right in the program.
Oh, you can?
I should be able to,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. She just
Oh, yeah. Andrew asks, Shelly Jean, what is the catchy name for your new lead magnet?
This is supposed to be the website. My lead magnet is the Bust the Toxins or the Lies Told Us. I can't remember which one I have on there.
Yeah. So, I gotta be honest, I don't, okay, so let's put this out for everybody watching on YouTube instead of live in our Zoom. By the way, if you want to be live in the Zoom, you can do it. All you got to do is, let's see, I send the Zoom announcement to everybody that has already gotten the toolkit and or has downloaded any of the handouts, the worksheets. So go to andydelgado.com/toolkit or andydelgado.com/ATMH01, and that gets you started. Hold on, Steve. I got one more thing to say. So one of the things that we talked about today on the Daily Hot Seat is that it looks like if you create a website with the AI website builder or the AI Studio is what it's called, then that means you can attach it to a domain, but you lose the ability to attach anything else in that domain. I'm kind of protective about that, and I'm not going to let that happen because I could not give up andydelgado.com for the AI to only use with the AI stuff. And you may be able to do a subdomain with it, but you couldn't do a subfolder. You couldn't create your own page and add it into the AI Builder page, if I understand correctly. And that's still, it's still out. They're still working on it. They're still trying to make it better. They're still trying to make it perfect. So there's things to think about there before you guys go and do that. It is fun though, right? That was a cute website that they built.
Hmm.
And I think that that one red button on the first page, I think if you change that to navy blue, it would still be as effective and more than
Yeah.
eight. Yeah. So there we go. All right, Steve Shannon, go ahead.
So I got to add one more thing to that. So Andrew, I
No.
thank you for asking me that. So I have two lead magnets. One is I have one that's going to direct people to my blog, and it's for breast implant explant survivors. I did that one last week and showed it last week. This one is for BizStackPro. So I do have to come up with a catchy name for that. And I thank you for that. I'll have to ask like what heavy SEO name that I could put together for that. It's like if people are looking for digital platforms, maybe. Um, I'll
So
have to put that up in my line too.
I so remember that I have a very good relationship with ChatGPT. It knows me, it knows how I think, it knows that's kind of scary. But I asked ChatGPT, what are the 10 pain points that what are the 10 pain points that BizStack Pro solves? So you could do something like that. And sticking with your saving money kind of thing, you might throw in, please make sure you include the savings on having one tool that does so many things as one of the pain points. That kind of thing. You could ask that question, not just ChatGPT, whoever your AI is, whatever you want to do. All right, Steve Shannon, you're muted.
I found it. All right. Is this better? I
Yeah,
help I help adults to feel older, uh, who feel older than they should, achieve better health, more hope, and clearer paths forward without confusion, pressure, or hype.
there you go. Um, yeah, so you would need to read all of those, find the
Yep.
one you like the most, and adopt that as your driving force for your new website that you're building.
All right.
There we go. Miss
Good
Teresa, have
clarity.
you worked on the question any? I know you. I don't want to push you. I'm just asking.
No, I haven't worked on any of it, Andy. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Don't be sorry. It's okay. Mike Chief Nelson, I have
Sir.
a I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Does it get your goat as much as it gets mine when people talk about Memorial Day and they're thanking veterans and they're thanking current service members?
Does it get my goat?
Yeah, does it affect you the way it affects me? Knowing that Memorial Day was for people who died in service?
But they're thanking us for their service, our
Right.
service.
Yes.
You
On
know,
Memorial
they,
Day.
they, they should actually do that on Veterans Day.
Right.
However, if our friend in the White House gets his way, we'll have a whole month in November.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm good with that.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's yeah, yeah. I for the since 1984, when I first moved to this community and met my loving former late wife. Um, One of the first things that we did together, that she did on one of our first outings, was she played taps at the Memorial Day service at the school. That was in 1983. And then in 1984, we were married. Yeah. And then so from that day forward, from that time forward, I have played taps or with her or by myself for the Memorial Day service since 1984. So,
Well, there you
and
go.
and I've done for other veterans in other areas as well. But so yes, it's yes. Unless I saw a post this morning. I'm getting off your topic here. I saw a post this morning. It was a reel, and it was they were playing taps in the background, but it was all female uh, veterans who were passed, who were killed. The whole reel, and it was like 2 minutes long, and it was just so you need to think about all of them, you know, not just men or women. It's just everybody. So anyway,
Right. Yep.
yep, yep. Well, yes, it does to a certain extent. But when you say, "Does it get my goat?" Hey, I am a goat.
There you,
Remember, I remember that when I'm with my fellow chiefs, we are in the goat locker.
there you go.
Yep, 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 yep. So I like some of his websites I've seen this morning.
Yep. Oh, let's Chip wanted to show off his. Go ahead, Chip. Uh-oh. Chip, are you hearing us?
I am now. Sorry, I was distracted.
That's okay. You said happy to have my site critiqued, or I'll just be patient. Throw it up, bud.
I just put it in the chat.
Oh, I got you. Oh, you've changed it since I saw it last.
Could be.
Could be.
Do you mean to be sharing that with us?
No, I can. Excuse me. Dang. All right. So you asked for it. I've only got one thing that I've seen glaring first.
Okay.
And it's probably not a big thing, but it's just me from a design standpoint.
There we go. Yeah.
All right. I would add a margin to the right of your nav menu by clicking on the nav menu
Yep.
and then clicking on the layout. I think that's what it's called. And then add like 10 to the right of it, just because it, to me, it looks like that's awfully close to the black. So if you add a little bit of margin there, it would actually show you some yellow between the white and the black. And that's just me. I'm looking at the design side of it. I love this.
Oh, good.
If you are interested, I can give you the code for to make that button hover.
Hmm.
All of your buttons. Um, do you want to make this font the same size as that font? I don't know if
Oh,
you do or
good.
not.
Good thought.
And then maybe an extra line under your question marks. That does make that section bigger though. That's just up to you. See how you've got these are, I know this is a bullet point, but you've got these separated by white space and this is not.
Yeah. Good point.
I love this. I like how you said axe. That's cool. All right, is this the new function of we didn't have this ability before when we all started this. The enable sound, is that a function of just by default it does that for you now?
Must be because I've not really played with this in quite some time.
Okay. That's nice. This is good, man. I don't know if that is enough. Um, these letters may need to be darker black or, dark gray just because of the contrast. And also you've got white space here and you don't have
Yeah.
white space here.
Ah, yep. Hadn't noticed that.
And man, I tell you what, messing with the forms, that if there's anything I dislike about BizStackPro, it's the forms.
Yeah.
And I can show you why here in just a second. I love this chip. I mean, you've just got a few little things to play with if you choose to. Let me show you one of the things I dislike the most about the forms.
Chip,
I can't,
your actor on your hero section there reminds me. Can't think of the name of the actor. he played the judge in Night Court. That's who he reminds me of.
Hmm.
Harry somewhere.
This is actually from the my last musical when I was teaching curtains, and the guy who directed it on Broadway was a graduate of my high school. So he came back to talk to the cast.
So first of all, for those of you who don't know me, I am not
Cool.
a corporate member of Texas
Yeah,
Point.
but that reminds me of Harry from Night Court.
Texas Point or IDMC, a Scander official website. I'm also not a financial.
Sorry about that. All right, real quick, and then I see somebody's got a question. Hold on. So this form right here, let me show you how let me just show you. And maybe if you guys know better, you can teach me how it is, but hold on. Come on. Oh my goodness, today. Switch accounts. Does that see the margins here? I can't do anything about it. Let's go look at the form itself. I have 0 margins now. I've trimmed it all out.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't look like I want it to look, is what I'm trying to say. And that is the one thing that irritates me the most. So if we look at the styles, there's 0 padding there. There is some padding here, but that was just to make this work right. So if I turn this padding to 20 even, see it moves this over too. It's like this container has some funky stuff going on in there. So if we ever learn that, y'all can say, Andy, pay attention.
So Andy, can you do a negative
On this. So
on the side on the margin?
here,
No, the margin.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah, pull the slider all the way to the left.
yeah. Don't go back. You know, does that do anything?
Oh, it did, yes. I'd have to play with that a bit.
Yeah.
I didn't remember the negatives.
It's not very.
Yes, that's better. But the I guess the point I'm making is there are margins here that shouldn't be there. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I mean, I've looked at every aspect of this, the container itself, general edit form, and you can see that I have zeroed out everything. There's nothing on the top and there's nothing on the bottom. Well, those are hidden, but there's nothing left and right. And then to actually get that in, see, it looks like there's nothing there. But when we close that, it's there.
Hmm.
Anyway, all right, I'm gonna get out of this and stop sharing and talk to Mr. Andrew. Go ahead, Andrew.
Okay, chip conversation.
Yeah.
You're a classic. You come from classic style studio and Broadway and stuff like that. So the picture on your hero picture on there, is it on purpose, low res and grainy?
No.
Okay, so to me it looks like a used picture from something that was grabbed from the web and blown up.
It was probably a production photo
Yep.
that I had.
Yeah, and I
hiding in a
respect
folder
if you're
somewhere.
classic and because you teach people from old school.
Hey, boomer.
No, I mean because that's kind of your style and where you're coming from through your web page. The other thing
Yeah.
I put on the chat, that video on the bottom, I pressed on it, but I couldn't pause it. I couldn't stop unless I slid the playing slider all the way to the right and it got to the end.
Oh.
So you'll have to enable controls on that embedded video frame.
Yeah, I have done that more recently, but as I said, I haven't fussed with this in a while, so that's a good point.
And this is more of a question for Andy or Chris, but when you look at the first page, it fills up my whole first page on my PC. And then as I scroll down, I get portions of other sections, not filling things in. I know when I've looked at other people's websites, each fold or each screen is on its own, and I can peruse it, and it has information. So it's something in the structure of it that I kind of like. And I'm trying to do the same on my own web pages. So, like the second section, want to be less stressed, is small. You're already going to the third section by the time you're on that.
And are you saying you like that, or that's
No, I kind of like
inconsistent?
when sections are either full page
Okay.
Mhm.
or there's lots of smaller ones. So,
So
kind
they
of your sections are different sizes, different heights, and um, that can be disarming for people to be paging through.
okay, so that to make a section fill the screen. Hold on, let me share my screen. And we'll give a couple of examples here. That screen. And I'm not selfishly promoting. I know where my stuff is. So let's go to andydelgado.com. And this is a section that I made it be this big on purpose. But it's not a full page section like you're looking. See, because you can see part of the bottom. This is a full page. Hold on, slash. Um, is that a VH? Right. So this section is 100% full height and width. Okay. And that's actually a JavaScript. I'm sorry, that's actually a cascading style sheet function that's built into that's available. It's called, so you'd have to edit hold on. Where is a good one? Where's my swarm? Here we go. So to get a full page of a section, to make it occupy the full parameter of the browser, the full resolution of the browser, whatever you call it, in the custom CSS, this part right here, the 100 VH, that's telling it to occupy 100% width of the current browser's viewability. All right. Now, normally you would do that just in a section. I had to do it here because of some extra effects I'm doing. So see that? Well, it actually is. So it's telling right here, make the section and the row and that specific column 100 VH. So all that is that saying make this section. And let me show off. I am selflessly promoting here. This is the one that I built that has a swarm. I don't know if y'all can see it in the background through Zoom, but there's actually a swarm of pixels that are following my mouse. And it'll come down. That's based on an old screensaver that used to be available on Linux, Unix, and Sun Microsystems, but it was called Swarm. And it was basically a swarm of fireflies that would do different things. But let's go to embed swarm. All right, so this is more specifically about that 100 VH. I've got a section that is 100 VH. That means it's going to occupy the entire height of the browser, okay? But as soon as I scroll out of it, like you're talking about, I've got a different section, and that swarm coincidentally doesn't go with the section. So you can go from section to section and make it either occupy. Now I told this one to be as big as it needed to be to hold all the info. But if you had something like specifically what Andrew's talking about, where you had that middle section that's just 4 inches tall or whatever, if you wanted to be, where it occupied the whole section, you could do it either by growing the margins around your section above and below, or you can add that code to it very easily. Chip, this is what I was talking about on. I haven't talked about this in your page. When you click on a button and it takes you to the bottom of the page, see, I've got a slower scroll. Yours just jumps and you can't see that it's a scroll. It looks like you're going to a new page. So if you want that slow scroll, that's very easy to do too. And I can teach you that as well. In fact, I'm actually going to teach that in this course, hover buttons and slow scrolls and that kind of thing. Let me stop sharing. No more selfish promoting, whatever we call it. All right. Steve, you already said that. Any other questions, comments? Tell me to get lost. Likes, criticisms, whatever.
Thank you for
All
all
right.
that feedback.
You're welcome. I'm sorry if we hurt your feelings or anything. I didn't mean to. Shelly Jean, I want you to know you have caused me to up my game. Thank you, Judy Gunn, coach and mentor. So typically I am the smartiest smarty pants in the room. But after looking at your website, of course, that was AI induced. So I'm not giving you full props, but that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed your site.
Oh,
I
thank you.
don't know if you're ever actually going to be able to make it as like you want and be willing to give up a domain to it or not. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. It is, I am really enjoying it. Like I said, I got a couple more things to add, but I love it. I think it's fun. And like I said, though, the prompts, if I was to do this right now and we had to pay for it, I would be screwed. Like it is prompt after prompt, and I'm like, no, not that, do this. And but yeah, it's been a lot of fun putting it together. So
Yeah. Now, the good news is we still have the ability to use AI. Hold on, let me look and see which page this is. Even if we don't want to pay for, here we go. Even if we don't want to pay for the AI builder in um, BizStackPro, the AI Studio, we still have the ability to have AI create a site that we can then mimic or copy. For example, if you were to look at if we were to look at this page, ATMH01. If we were to look at this page, share. All right. Tell me when. Do you see it?
Yes.
All right. So if we were to look at that page, and then we were to look at this page, look,
Hmm.
look how close they are.
Hmm.
I actually built this and asked ChatGPT to create what he envisioned my page to look like to give away those worksheets. Okay. And it came up with this. And then what I did is I took it and I created that by hand in BizStack Pro. So you can conceptualize a page that you may not have an idea how you're going to start, right? Or maybe you have an idea and then you give it a little bit of prompting in ChatGPT or whatever you like, Claude, Gemini, whoever. Okay, and then ask it to show you what it conceives for your page, and that's what I did here. I took that page, and in fact, the only thing that I see that's missing is my little rainbow on top of that form, right? Everything else is close enough to being the same that it's the same. And if I really wanted that to happen, I could ask ChatGPT on this existing chat, hey, the little rainbow, and by the way, this is called a card, and I'll give you all the real world definitions of what things are. For example, a pop-up in BizStack Pro is really, it's called a modal, M-O-D-A-L. So in fact, hey, in Chris's post last night where he talks about changes coming to BizStack Pro, one of the things it talked about is they're changing the modal, and it said modal instead of pop-up, and then it had to define in that document. It defined that the pop-up is called a modal. So anyway, this is called a card. Okay, this device right here is called a card. We call it a column, right? Because it is. It's a row. This is a row, and then we've got two columns, and one of the column got jazzed up. The same thing I did here. But I could say, hey, for the card that you've got the form on, please give me the CSS to give me the blue to yellow, blue to amber fade that you've got at the top. And then explain how I can put that into a BizStackPro column. And it would give me that. So I'm just letting you know that just about anything that you can get your AI that you're already paying for, 20 bucks, a lot cheaper than 120, anything that you can get your AI to conceive, then you can do this, build it. It may not look as pretty. You could spend more time and make it as pretty if you wanted to. But I'm kind of happy with this page. I think it gets the point across and gets the function. And then, of course, if you once you build one that you like, and then you want a thank you page, you just take that page and clone it, and then you make a thank you page out of it. Same thing. All right. What else? That was free. You don't even have to pay me $1 for that one. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. We went 10 minutes over the allotted time, but that's okay. It's because y'all started talking and made me talk. We'll blame it on you. Um, but
No, it's
next,
because I was late. That's fine.
we're blaming it on the chief.
Yep, that's
So
fine.
next week we will need to review. We won't need to, but we will review everything that was covered in the ATMHO3 worksheet, and then we will get started. We will start by building our first page. We will set some brand colors. We'll set our font pairing. We will give it some parameters. For example, you guys know how I like round buttons, right? So we will tell it to give a button this border, and we will tell it to use 10 pixel rounding on the corners and that kind of thing. We'll set all those defaults so that when it's time to work on the page, we've got most of it ready to go and ready to design. And then we can just drag and drop the elements in place where we want them to go and fly. Then, of course, we'll get that first page done as nice as we like, and then clone it to 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we'll look at other stuff as we go. And if you have questions as we go, I certainly want to know your questions so I can answer them either that day or the next. Um, and one of the important parts that I mentioned before, and I'll hit again, is as we go, we're going to do all the stuff as we build it instead of going back and realizing that we should have named the section, or we should have named the button, or we should have added alt text to the image. We're going to take care of all that in advance, so there's less going back and fixing. And that's going to affect our SEO and our LLMS, large language models syntax, I believe. LLMS is how the all the large language, the AI bots, how they look at your page. So you can actually tell the you can tell GPT to index your page, and you want it specifically to look at this information. You can do that by having a text file called the llms.txt. Currently, we don't have a way to store one of those. I've created a way to do that. And then sooner or later, High Level will put that function in there as well because they've done robots.txt and they've done some of the other things. Anyway, we're going to do all that. We're going to do all the important behind the scenes stuff that's going to save us time at the end of the site when we're going back and looking at it. When each page is finished, we're also going to check and make sure that it looks good on cellular or mobile devices as well. So you don't have to go back and hack that too. That's one of the things that Chief Nelson did for me, that he said, I'm looking at it on mobile first and you didn't do this, dumb butt. Well, he didn't say that. I felt like it after he said it because I thought it was ready to go and I never checked mobile. So we're going to check mobile on every page as well before we get out of it and see what we got to do. And I'll show you some of the tips and tricks that you may not know for mobile formatting. All right. I'm sorry, I've been looking at y'all there instead of looking at you face to face here. Anyway, I hope that you had an enjoyable time. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you got value out of this. If you have any questions, you can send me a message by going to Facebook and friending me there. You can go to m.me/Andy Delgado TX. That's what I talked about last week, y'all. The ability to send a message directly from your Facebook, from your website to your Facebook Messenger. You create a button that says message me on Facebook, and in the text of it, it's m.me/ and your Facebook handle. And that will open Facebook in their account and already start a conversation with you there. So that's one of the cool things you can do. Also, if you go back and look through the video, I'll have all kinds of different things on the screen that I couldn't show you while I'm doing this because I'm not that good. So you'll see some graphics and things that cover some of the things that we're talking about now. And then you can reach me in Facebook. You can reach me at andy@andydelgado.com. You can leave a comment in the YouTube. You can leave a comment in the BizStackPro community or message me there as well. That's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you in the hot seat, whether it's the day or night one, or I'll see you again this same bat time, same bat channel next Tuesday next Tuesday morning. Good night, everybody. Goodbye. Be safe. Be blessed. Bye bye.